Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Well, as you have noticed, today's a very hot day, right? And that means that whoever is talking a lot is going to have a dry mouth very quickly. So to avoid having a dry mouth very quickly, I'm going to ask you to help me with my sermon this morning. Is that okay?
It's fine.
Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. There are three main characters in this morning's gospel story. A woman, Jesus, and a Pharisee. Now, I think we all can say that we know who Jesus is, kind of, right? We're sort of agreeing on sort of who Jesus is. So let's try to together try to paint the picture of the other two characters. Let's start with the person who invited Jesus to have dinner with him. What can you tell me about him? Let's try to figure out who this guy is. Who wants to start? What is his name?
Simon.
Great. What is his title? Or what is it? Huh? He's a Pharisee. So what is expected of Pharisees in that time? What are characteristics we can assign to Pharisees in that time? They lived the letter of the law, yes.
Holiness.
Holiness, yes. What else? How are they seen by others?
Authority.
Huh?
Self-righteous.
Not necessarily. Well, that's what Jesus says about them.
Powerful.
That they aren't self-righteous. They probably are. What else? What? Come on. Don't be ashamed. Say it out. Powerful. And with power comes what?
Influence.
Influence. What else? What? Example. Example. What else? Yeah, people look up to them as sort of, this is the way I want to be. What else? Huh? They're definitely Jewish. What else?
Educated.
Leaders. Who said educated? Educated, yes. Huh? Rich, most definitely. What else? Most
Sinless.
Well, that goes for all of us, I think. But yes, they were considered good people in their time. Yeah. Which meant that they were respected by others, right? Yes, yes. So, what type of dinner do you think he was putting on? This dinner that he invited Jesus to? With all these things we know about him. What type of dinner?
Lavish.
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 Formal.
Formal. No pork. Yeah. What else?
Restricted access.
Restricted access. Oh yes, most definitely. This was a dinner for the elite of the elite, right? In our days, they would have had caviar and lobster and,
Your $10,000 plate.
What?
I said $10,000 plate.
$10,000 plate? Yeah, that type of dinner, right? Yeah. So that's more or less who this guy is. Okay? Now, the woman. What can we say about the woman? What would you say about the woman? Well, the other characteristic about the Pharisee is that he was a man. Very important, okay? Not a woman. Just by saying that she was a woman in that time. So what else can we say about her?
Poor.
Wait, one at a time. One at a time. You said poor, contrite. What? Prostitute, maybe. Sinner. Okay, pretty well known because she had money to buy the ointment. Yeah. Bob, you said something? She has long hair.
Powerless.
What else? What? Unclean. Yes.
Humble.
Huh?
Humble.
Humble.
Powerless.
Powerless. Cries a lot. What else? She was a nobody.
At At the same time, she was very brave.
She was very brave, yes. Yes. What else? What else? What can we say about her?
Did you think she snuck in?
Huh?
You think she snuck in?
She crashed the party.
Yeah.
She's a party crasher. Yeah.
Spiritual.
Spiritual,
Passionate.
passionate,
Had no towel.
no towel. What else?
She really loved Jesus.
She really loved Jesus. She has love. Grateful. What else?
Spontaneous.
Huh?
Spontaneous.
Spontaneous. Humble. She what? She wanted forgiveness. Yes. She wanted to change. Now, how different are these two people? They're very different, aren't they? They're very different people. And you would assume, and this is the, well, not you, the assumption that is made by the Pharisee is that their difference is such that there is no reason why Jesus should want to have her present with him at any time, much less when he is in his company, in the Pharisees' company. It is just a clashing of cultures, of personalities, of ways of being, of ways of being looked at. There is no reason why this Pharisee, this is his assumption, should be receiving in any way the type of treatment that the woman would receive, the attention that Jesus gives to her. That is the assumption, right? She is not worthy to be in my presence, or in the presence of any of my guests, for that matter. And if this man were really a prophet, he would know this. He would have kicked her to the curb a long time ago if he really was a prophet and knew who this woman was. But Jesus, we understand, is a very smart man. Looks at Simon, realizes what he's thinking, and says, Simon, let me put this question before you. Two people owe someone amounts of money, one more, one less. And when the person who is the owner of the money realizes they either can pay, says, your debt is forgiven. Who is going to be more grateful? Simon has to respond. Of course, there's no other way to respond, but of course, the one who owes more. What we have to realize, however, in this example is that one would tend to assume that by Jesus saying this, he's saying that the woman has more sins than the Pharisee does. But that is a misreading of the lesson. What does happen, however, is what they each perceive to be their sin. In other words, the Pharisees assuming that because of his stature and holiness and way of being, he has nothing to be forgiven for. While the woman, recognizing what society says about her and her way of being and her way of life, she assumes that her sins are greater than anybody else's. It is a matter of personal perception in each case. And because the Pharisee assumes he has nothing to be forgiven for, he's proud of himself and he behaves in that way. And because of his assumption, the social assumptions of his time, he looks at the woman with contempt. But the woman also looks at herself in that same way.